Hello, everyone. Welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary.
And we're excited to bring you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
We're very fortunate today to have Dave Russell with us. He is president of SAK Comedy Lab. So let's talk to Dave and find out about the man himself. Hi, Dave.
Well, hello. How are you?
Welcome
Great.
back.
Well, thank you.
So we were talking about improvisation and your love of improv, but we didn't find out, how did you get started in improvisation? Were you funny as a kid?
I was kind of the class clown, you know. I was a wimpy kid, as they say. I was never really good at sports, so always making people laugh kept me from getting beat up. You know how it is, yeah. So, but I just always gravitated to that, doing kind of cutting up, doing funny things, having fun, and that just sort of became a livelihood, and I just enjoy it.
Did you major in theater?
I did. Majored in theater. I went to college in Minnesota at a school called Augsburg College. And so, yeah, I came out as a theater person, but almost right out of theater, I was actually in law school for one semester. And but there was a great opportunity for some short-term work with SAK down here in Florida when they were at Disney at Epcot Center. And so due to some emotional things that were going on in my life, I had to get out of law school before I got those first semester grades. I came down to Florida. I had a friend who came down here and got to work with SAK in the street theater at Epcot and thought, I'll do this for a couple of weeks, re-enter law school. And then 30 years later, so wow. One thing just led to another, and I just never went back, never stopped doing it, and just enjoyed doing it. Because I think in my heart, that's what I really liked to do, what I needed to do, what I ought to do.
When you're in the zone, improvising in a scene, and it's just going really well, what does that feel like for you?
It's actually, it's not a feeling you can recognize when you're in it. It's more of a feeling you recognize when you're done. But so when you're in it, you just feel like you're in the moment, and it just feels great because things are clicking. So unless I haven't been able to really get outside to look in when I'm really in the zone. I mean, I'm outside a lot looking in, but then I'm not really in the zone. So it's an afterthought, feeling of, oh. That was it.
They call that flow.
That was great. Yeah.
And tell us about what's your favorite theater piece that you've done? Why was it important to you?
I've done more improv than I have theater. So I would say, you know, one of the most thrilling things I've done theater-wise was actually recently directed Laughter on the 23rd Floor at Mad Cow. And so I'm more of an improviser than a theater person. I don't know a lot of plays. I don't know a lot of theater. You know, I enjoy the things that everybody enjoys coming out of Broadway and stuff. But in terms of the lesser-known plays, it's like, never heard of it. But I enjoy watching a lot of that stuff. But what a great experience that was. You know, a little lesser-known Neil Simon work. But the cast were a lot of friends from Disney, and it was the first play that I ever read, because I'm a little stoic in my natural life when I don't have the mask on of the improviser, and I don't laugh. It shows a lot. I kind of keep it to myself. But when I read this, I was actually laughing out loud. So I wish I don't do. So I said, I got to direct this. And it was fun. It's just fun.
Did you know that Dave was one of my show directors at Disney?
No, I didn't know
At Comedy Warehouse, our improv show, Dave came and directed for a while there.
You know, part of being a director is inspiring your cast. And so if I was an actor in your show, Dave, how would you inspire me to be a better performer?
I'd get a whip.
Besides hitting me, what else would you do?
I think that the way I try to inspire is by being joyful. And so it's very hard work. Theater is very hard work, and getting what you want as a director is very hard work, and giving what is needed and receiving what you want in terms of to help your ego and affirm you. These are very hard things, very hard dynamics. So it's very important to me just to love the people that I work with, and I do. I love people, and I love people that I work with as well. Try to be as joyful as possible, and then when things get a little rough, you just work through those. You look for honesty through those, and say, I'm a person who will always say, I messed up there, and I want to apologize, and I want to make up for that.
That's great advice. So making sure the artist feels valued and their art is valued as well.
Because both of those are very true. You know, and even though it's hard to get at what we want, there is value in the art and the artist. So.
And that's why we call this From the Heart, because you have to have heart to create art. Well, you don't have to, but I think that's what moves people.
Absolutely.
Well, I would say that the art comes from that. You know, the heart is kind of the inside physicalization of whatever goes on in the universe that allows us to communicate on such levels. And so we use the heart. It's not only a symbol, but it's the pumper. It gets the blood going. It's a lot of emotion that comes in and through. There's a flow. A lot of things have to work together to do that. So I think
He's
it's
a
a great.
philosopher, too.
Yeah, many things.
Hey, what's this book on the table?
Oh,
How's
is that
for
my
segue?
book?
Speaking of other things, you're an author as well.
Yeah, tell us about this.
Yeah, I wrote a book. The title of the book is Impossible is Not a Word. It's actually a book for individuals. It's a professional development or personal development book on reaching your goals and your visions and your dreams. But it comes out of, again, the heart of what I do with improvisation and how I teach it. I want to say yes to so many things. I want to say, look at the possibilities. What are all the possibilities? And that's how we keep moving forward. That's how you build a scene from nothing. So I wrote a book about that to help people. They say, people get a lot of potential realization. It's like, realize your potential. And I think a lot of people get only to realizing that they have a lot of potential. But then it's like, what do I do with that? How do I let that potential come to life and convert it to an actional thing? I call it going from potential energy to kinetic energy. And that's what this philosophy and strategy and program does. It helps you do it day to day so that you are continually realizing and bringing whatever vision you have within that potential to life. To life.
L'chaim.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
If you were to give someone advice, I got a book in me, I really want to write it, what would you tell them? What would you say?
If they have a book in them?
Yeah, like they, well, besides get a surgeon.
Yes. How did you get that book in you?
That can be uncomfortable.
Everybody's got a book in them. So many people. I would say, obviously, you have to write. A writer writes. So you got to find a way to write that down or write something else. But you got to get in the practice of writing. And actually, I needed to write this book. I needed to get this book out. And so I went through this process I call about the quantum vision is the program that I talk about in this, in order to get me to do it day by day. But it starts with a vision. It starts with clarity, and then it continues with action. You have to do something actional. I can't look at all the big action. I have to write 60,000 words to be a book. I can't imagine 60,000 words. Could you write 1,000 words today, Dave? I think I could. Good. Do that for 60 days, and you'll have a book. So it's breaking it down into more malleable pieces that you can actually do. That's one of the tips of the quantum vision.
Beautiful.
Moving forward.
We have to, unfortunately, almost come to the end of this particular segment.
You have to almost come to the end? Well, we're safe then.
Wasn't very good,
We can still get one more in.
However, if someone wanted to get your book, where would they get it?
I would go to the website. Go to thequantumvision.com. No spaces, no caps. THE, remember the, hard to say. Thequantumvision.com. There's a link in there. Not only it'll give you all the information about the quantum vision, but there's a link in there if you want to look at the book. It's available on Amazon. And you can go there, hardcover, softcover, whatever you like.
And I'm sure there's so much that we can learn from that book, each one of us. So thank you for sharing
You
a
need
little
to
bit
buy
about
it
yourself.
twice because you can learn twice as much as you thought.
Give one away to a friend, right?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to all of you for joining us here from the heart. We're going to be back a little bit later with Dave and learn a little bit about the future of both Dave Russell and SAK Comedy Lab.